Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today I am hearing the singer Emma Kok for the first time, so we're going to start with a 2023 performance of the song Voilà. Here we go.
Haar broertje heeft zijn podiumdebuut hier bij ons gemaakt, op het Vrijthof. Her little brother had his first performance on stage here with us on the Vrijthof. I still see him sitting there between the violins. And now he is a fantastic violinist. Hij is een fantastische violist nu. U herinnert het zich misschien ook. Ik heb het over Enzo Kok. And Enzo has a little sister, Emma. Unfortunately, Emma has a rare but terrible disease. Her stomach is paralyzed. She cannot eat. All the food goes through a little tube directly into her stomach. But Emma is a brave girl. She wants to live a normal life, and Emma has a dream. She has a beautiful voice. She wants to be a singer. She did the voice kids here in Holland, and immediately she won. She created a foundation to raise money to study this terrible disease and perhaps even in the future cure it. Emma, I think, is an example for all of us. Give her an enormous applause. There she is, Emma Kok.
Écoutez-moi, moi la chanteuse à demi. Parlez-moi à vos amours, à vos amis. Parlez-leur de cette fille aux yeux noirs et de son rêve fou. Moi, ce que je veux, c'est écrire des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous. C'est tout. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Mais voilà mes messies, mes années je porte. Oui, mais voilà tout le bruit et tout le silence. Regardez-moi, ôtez-moi ce qu'il reste. Regardez-moi avant que je me déteste. Quoi vous dire que les lèvres de notre ne vous diront pas ces petites choses, mais moi, tout ce que j'ai, je le dépose là. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Mais voilà mes messies, mes années c'est fini. C'est mes gueules, c'est mon cri, mais vous voilà tant pis. Voilà, 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 juste ici. Mon amour et mon vie, comme je grève, comme je ris. Mais voilà tout le prix et tout le silence. Ne partez pas.
Okay. Oh my goodness. The wash of relief that just came over me. You all know it is a scary thing when you hear, well, when there's a lot of buzz about certain like younger singers. So many good things can be present, but I think a lot of adult singers or coaches, we get nervous because depending on, I don't know, which genre or their training, sometimes you encounter young singers that are trying to achieve really mature sounds. And while it can be done, it's not great for that particular singer, especially as they age and as they develop. And so hearing her, she has such a beautiful voice. Yes, there is maturity in it, but I think the maturity comes more from her delivery and less so from the actual tone and technique. It's well, we're going back. We're going back. Let me get to when she starts. Here we go.
Écoutez-moi, moi la chanteuse à demi parler.
When she first started, we're getting a really beautiful, light, mixy sound, a lot of airflow, a lot of relaxation. There was a moment just before she popped into head voice that it was stylistically, it felt very contemporary. Let me. Yeah, I think it was right there.
Écoutez-moi, moi la chanteuse à demi.
Yeah, the added fry, the lowered soft palate, all of these little qualities are very true to today's style, at least in, the pop genre. So hearing that in this song, I think just this sort of modern, I'm going to call it a modern interpretation, I think is really beautiful, and it's a really nice choice. But then for her to pop into head voice so effortlessly, and we didn't hear a lot of crackle, we didn't hear a lot of there wasn't even a separation of tone. I think for a lot of young singers, when you're going into head voice from something that's more chest dominant, many young singers are still trying to figure out that dexterity. And oftentimes you'll hear kind of like more air or even like a pause in sound because they didn't quite get the chords adducted. And obviously that didn't happen here.
Moi la chanteuse à demi parler de moi, à vos amours, à vos amis, parlez-leur de cette fille aux yeux noirs et de son rêve fou. Moi ce que je veux, c'est écrire des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous, c'est tout.
The slight variation, I mean, that's when I said maturity in her delivery, the way she's communicating text, first and foremost, even though, no, I don't speak the language, I know the song. And so just, yeah, there's a great maturity in her delivery of the text. But on top of that, these tiny little variations, the stylistic choices she's making also are giving me that feeling of maturity, that impression of maturity. So just then, let me back this up. Same line, same notes, we had a head dominant placement and then a more chest dominant mix. Actually, that was it. That was the head dominant spot. Ce que je veux, c'est écrire des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous. And she's not pressing too much into that chest voice. We're not getting so much press in the chords that it feels abrasive. It's just enough. And she's got really beautiful forward resonance on that as well, so that it's blending really, really nicely. C'est tout. That little flip up. So hearing her range thus far, the way she maneuvers that upper mix is really, really technically sound. She's able to alternate back and forth between something that's more chest dominant and then here just flipping into that but being able to come out of that head dominant place instantly. I think, yes, I'm just gonna keep saying the word mature, sophisticated. I don't know. I'll try and come up with some better words, but it just it's giving something that is well beyond her age, and it's really beautiful to see.
C'est tout. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Mais voilà mes messies, mes années chapeaux. Oui, mais voilà tout le bruit et tout le silence. Regardez-moi, ôtez-moi ce qu'il reste. Regardez-moi avant que je me déteste. Crois vous dire que les lèvres de notre ne vous diront pas ces petites choses, mais moi, tout ce que j'ai, je le dépose là. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Mais voilà mes messies, mes années, c'est fini. C'est mes gueules, c'est mon cri. Mais vous
There, that was one of the moments where we got just a little bit of depression of the larynx and a little shift in the vowel placement. So it created just a slightly darker color, but it was still very much aligned technically with what we were hearing before and what came after. It just added this nice little dimension of added color. Again, sounds of maturity as well, but it was brief and it wasn't forceful. It was just very, very well calculated, which I like.
Voilà, voilà qui je suis. Mais voilà mes messies, mes années, c'est fini. C'est mes gueules, c'est mon cri. Mais vous voilà, tant pis. Voilà, 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 just ici.
There's, well, that one phrase that she did in head voice and then coming back down. It's such, I mean, again, she has such a beautiful tone and there's such a natural approach to her overall vocal production, which I love. And so when you embrace that, especially as a young singer, it certainly allows for beautiful things to happen in your development as you age. But it also, I mean, it's the only time in your life that you're going to have access to some of these sounds. And so when that gets featured, I think it's such a beautiful thing.
Voilà, 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 just ici. Mon amour et mon vie, comme je grève, comme je ris. Mais voilà tout le bruit et tout le silence. Ne partez pas, je vous supplie, restez longtemps. Ça me sauverait pas, non. Me faire souffrir, je sais pas comment. Aimez-moi comme un ennemi qui se va pour toujours. Je fais comme...
Love that phrase. Well, that ending note in particular, we're hearing the tiniest bit of oscillation when she has these sustained notes, but it's not like a fully developed vibrato. It's just kind of like the inklings of it, and I love it. I think it's so gorgeous. Yeah, just that tiny added spin without hearing two different notes. Stunning. I think it's so pretty. The other thing that she is doing performance-wise that I'm really enjoying is there's a tendency, well, I was going to say with young singers, but there's a tendency with all performers to constantly lean forward when you're trying to convey emotion and communicate with an audience. And there's certainly a time and a place for that. But again, the maturity that I am seeing is partially because of how I think, neutral her stance is. She certainly extends her arms and whatnot, and is doing a beautiful job communicating this song and engaging with the audience, but she's doing it in a very reserved way and kind of drawing the audience to her, and I love seeing that.
Aimez-moi comme un ennemi qui sauva pour toujours. Je veux quand même, parce que moi je sais pas, il m'aimait mes contours. Voilà, 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 voilà que je suis. Mais voilà même ici, mes années je cours, oui. Mais voilà tout le bris et dans le fil aussi. Regardez-moi fort et mes yeux, aimez-moi. Tout ce que j'ai ici, c'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri. Mais voilà, mais voilà, mais voilà. Voilà.
I'm gonna back this up. Something else that I obviously haven't heard every cover of this song ever, but I think there's usually a slight I guess in my head I'm remembering a little bit more precision at times, and one thing that I love that she's doing is incorporating a lot of slides, and the slides are very they're almost metered. Like, she's not gliding really quickly into the notes. She's taking her time, and that's such a smart thing for a young singer to do, because as you're developing and as you're training, allowing stretch to happen gradually is such a good training tool. And it's so important for a lot of singers to understand the sensation of that movement, rather than just kind of hopping from one note to another, regardless of the interval. Even, I think a lot of times we hear that in, fourths and fifths and whatnot. If you can, instead of just hopping from one to the other and you slide, it's so good. It's a good exercise for your voice. And so hearing that in here, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Aimez-moi comme un ennemi qui sauva pour toujours. Je veux quand même, parce que moi je sais pas, il m'aimait mes contours. Voilà, 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 voilà que je suis. Mais voilà même ici, mes années je cours, oui. Mais voilà tout le bris et dans le fil aussi. Regardez-moi fort et mes...
Play that again. You can kind of hear, I feel like the slides we're hearing are just a little bit elongated, at least compared to what I'm used to. This might be the norm, in which case I still love it. But I think as a young singer, I think this was really smart for her to do.
Regardez-moi fort et mes yeux, aimez-moi. Tout ce que j'ai ici, c'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri. Mais voilà, mais voilà, mais voilà.
I'm going to play that one last time and then I'll play through. That singing, it's a challenging thing as a young singer when you're kind of recognizing how you hear certain vowels and how you hear certain parts of your range. So obviously when we've got a seemingly high vowel and it's low in the range, it can feel very muffled or contained or just quiet. And so the fact that she did not really push into it to try and create more sound, I think is so good. I mean, that amount of restraint, that amount of calm and confidence as a singer to say, yes, I understand. This is going to be a little softer than the rest of my voice, and that is okay. I love that. It's such a healthy habit to get into, to not push in those areas or to not modify vowels so that you can hear them better. And she did that beautifully. All right. I want to hear that last note one more time. She added a bit of challenge for herself at the end there. Typically, when I hear this song, I hear the slide happen on the first syllable, voix, and then la. But she didn't do that. She actually did a little bit of that slide with the L and then also the ending ah sound. And the reason that's challenging is anytime we change words or consonants, vowels, we're changing the shape of the vocal tract. So it requires, whether, it might be just added effort or it could be a bit of recalibration. I mean, there are a lot of variables at play, how you're utilizing your air. And so to do that while you're having to physically make an L sound and then switch to a completely different vowel is an additional challenge, which she maneuvered beautifully. I also like that she started in a really great chest dominant mix on the bottom, but when she did that slide, she was able to, yes, there was a bit of thinning that happened, but it was more like the shift in placement that happened so that she was able to get up to that higher note. And I think she did that really well. I mean, the whole song was beautiful. And like I said, I get so nervous when you guys recommend younger singers because I just don't know what to expect. So this was a really beautiful surprise because I think she just embraces so much of her innate natural sound, and she's a really great technician. It's not about a young singer trying to sound older or more mature. It's just a young singer who's incredibly skilled and has a gorgeous tone. So that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.